Pandas, 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 pandas. Good morning, pandas. Welcome to my stream. I'm glad that you guys can join us. We just finished a pre-market show. Always have a great time there. Hopefully you guys can fill out that poll. Let me know what kind of day you think it's gonna be. If you guys are interested in joining the pre-market show, where we go over all my account balances and also go over all my off-stream trades, you guys can become pandas, super pandas or regular pandas, doesn't matter. You guys get access to the pre-market show. And so hopefully, if you guys are interested, and I would love to see you guys there. So, and also it supports the channel, supports me, supports, with this, I consider it a monthly coffee. If you have known me as a real person, in real life, then, like going every single day in, trading with you every single day, it's just like, you take me out for coffee once a month, and that's what I consider it. So, just as a friend. Good morning, guys. Speedy Boy, good morning. Diego, good morning. Wayne Bicknell, good morning from the North Georgia mountains. Lance Gone, good morning from the UK. CJ, good morning from Michigan. Russell H, good morning. SW Blaze, good morning. Bernadette, good morning. Diego, good morning. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone is doing great here. A lot of you guys think it's gonna be bull trend day today. I'm mixed here. I'm actually mixed here. I mean, the obvious target is this yellow or this gold line up here. That is the obvious target for us. Why? Because it's the gap that was created like many days ago. It was like last Monday. So more than a week has passed since the gap has been filled. And the problem is, though, once we fill this gap, we kind of like have no more unfinished business, but we have a lot of unfinished business below because we actually created a gap in the open 6 p.m. Eastern time. And what I mean by that is, like, it's an actual gap. There is a small gap here that's not filled, right? From yesterday's close, it did not actually fill the gap. And so we have another gap here. We have simply another gap that we need to fill. And not only that, I'll go ahead and I'll color this. Color it gold because once we touch it, we're on this way. It's going to give us gold. If you know what I mean. That's the target. Plus, there's also another gap down here. And this gap was created earlier last week. And so, we're just trading between the gaps. That's what I would call like all these sessions right now. In between the gaps, like between 3 gaps now. So, that's what I'm saying. I'm mixed here. I feel like we're going to fill this gap here. And I don't know how we're going to do it, but, I feel like we're very close. So most likely it'll act as a magnet plus super strong uptrend, right? And then so I'm thinking we're going to fill this gap. And once that gap is filled, my thinking is that, I don't know. We're going to let the price action tell us, but my thinking is we're going to try to fill the gaps below. We're going to try to fill these gaps down here. And so, on the daily chart, what that would simply mean is, we had a pullback on this downtrend. And I believe we have one more push down that we need to create. So we shall see. I really think we have one more push down here. And then that could give us 4 pushes down. And with 4 pushes down, then we could actually have a nice reversal after that. But I think we need one more push down here. We shall see. But good morning, pandas. Bo Palm says, stuck in Nelson because I blew the turbo in the rig. Oh boy. Oh boy. That doesn't sound good. Really bull palm. He like travels, mobile home, and he just every morning he wakes up somewhere new. Diego asks, what does gap mean? Gaps mean it is what it sounds like. Basically, there's a space from this candle to this candle, and there's actual gap, right? There's price action here that has not been filled. That's a very small gap, one tick gap, so I'll try to use a bigger gap, for example, here. Here, this is very apparent. But from the close of this candle to the next candle, there's a big gap here, about 5-6 point gap. And so, with that being said, or with that happening, this creates a gap, and gaps get filled, especially on the futures market. They get filled pretty quickly. Even though this one took like a week to fill, I mean, still, it most likely will get filled. Same with the ones below. Good morning, guys. Make sure you guys fill out that poll. Also, make sure you scalp that like button. Lance Gone says, does it have to be filled? It doesn't have to be filled. I'm sure there are gaps like way below that still have not been filled. But it's just a very high likelihood they will be filled, especially on the futures market. I mean, the futures market is a 23.5 market, and so it's very little time that the futures market is not open. And so when there's gaps in the futures market, it kind of they have just a very high chance to get filled. Alright, pandas. Got 5 more minutes to the open here. Make sure you guys fill out that poll. I'm gonna close it before market opens. Bull palm with the Ram 5500 with a Northern Light camper. The 5500 with a Northern Light camper. Wow. Honestly, I've never been in a camper. I've never been in like an RV. I've never been like a trailer. I've never done any of these things. I guess just living in the bamboo forest, you don't really need any of those things, but Dylan says, watch Kung Fu Panda. That's my cousin. %59% of you guys think it's gonna be a bull trend day today. I think we'll be, just at least to fill the gap. Now from there, I'm not sure. Just because there's so many gaps below, I do feel like we could have some volatility today. We gotta let the market tell us more and more. Bull Palm says, my wife and I have been full-time for 4 years in a camper. Trading has given us location freedom. It's pretty cool. The only thing about that for me would be like, I could see how really how awesome that would be and how fun that would be, but you wake up somewhere new every single day, and You know, like you can basically choose where you want to live. I just feel like it might be like a little lonely, no? I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I guess if you're married, then that helps a lot. You know, that helps a lot. You know, you have a companion with you at all times. But yeah, I just feel like, you know, those kind of like deep relationships you can create with like a place where, you know, if you're planted in a place for a while, you know, I feel like that'd be hard to come by. But you know, some people like, I guess, the isolation. They prefer it. Good call. Let's look at the news today. What do we have? Wow, Fed Powell is speaking at 2 o'clock today. And then that's the only big news I see this week. Fed Powell speaks today at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. But I don't know. Like, I actually wanted to like spend some time like traveling for an extended period of time, but it's just a little difficult. I mean, well, Paul, you tell me more. You're the one doing it, so you tell me how that is in terms of like, you know, friendships, things like that. Most of you guys think it's gonna be a bull trend day today.
Five-minute trap.
Got a trap on the 5-minute chart. I don't know. I kind of like this long here. Am I crazy? Okay, no longer like that long. Trading range currently. Top of the trading range to the bottom trading range. Come back to the top of the trading range, perhaps? I'd like a little break, like a failed breakdown here. Higher low setup, like potentially here. Jenny Hoyos asked, do you prefer the morning session or the afternoon session? Also, do you notice that your stats probability differs within the sessions? Which one do I prefer? I guess I prefer the morning. But it really depends because market cycle changes all the time between the two. from the bottom of the trading range, maybe heading to the top of the trading range. The 10,000 tick chart actually creates a higher low second entry long. Higher low second entry long on the 10K chart. A little far away from the 20 MA. I'd like one more push down to go actually be on this trading range, but we'll see. You know, if anything, the only setup I can really take is a higher low setup here, and we're just not getting it. We'll see though. We might get it here. That's a super small candle right now. The range of this candle is only 1 point. 2,000 ticks, 1 point. Absolutely incredible. That is, you know, that's been happening. I don't know. It shouldn't happen very often, but that's a very small range for 2,000 ticks. We have a potential higher low setup here. Higher low, second entry long. Break a trend to new low, perhaps. Bottom of the trading range, maybe to the top of the trading range. It's a little sketchy. This is a little sketchy for me. It's a little sketchy. I'm gonna skip it just because we're in the middle of this trading range. I'm gonna skip this, but yeah. If this was like down here, I would consider it, but it's like in the middle of this trading range, so I don't like to typically go long or short in the middle of the trading range. Overlapping bars now. Tricky, tricky. The Bulgarian says, why does the ES chart look different? It's because every chart is, you know, especially on tick charts, it depends on when you open your chart. So I recommend if it looks different than mine, reload your historical data. You can do so by right-clicking and clicking on reload historical data. Right-clicking anywhere on the chart here. This is actually still a higher low setup, a terrible signal bar now, but still on the lower side of this trading range. Getting a two-leggy to the short side now. Ooh, outside bar reversal. Okay. Okay. You know, now actually we'll consider to go long. I'm looking for a long trade now because I'm seeing like a breakout trend to new low here. So I'm trying to find a long trade now. Plus, on the higher time frames, we finally hit the 20 EMA here. The 5 minute, it's kind of going in and out of it. But the 10K finally touches the 20 EMA. So with a higher low setup, I'll consider to go long here, thinking we're in a trading range of some sorts. George Dixon asks, what is Apex? Apex is basically a prop firm. So you can get funded for trading if you can pass their evaluations. And man, that's 2 tick slippage. That's crazy. And so we trade risk-free every single day here because we're trading someone else's money. And you can too if you want to sign up. There's a 80% off code right now with BBM50. So I'm looking for a higher low setup here, pandas. Preferably a second entry higher low. Something like that. That would be nice. I would really want to enter a trade like this if we can. Of course, has to be a good signal bar. But even if it's below the 20 MA, I'll consider going long here. Just because I can sense that we're choppy here, and you know, that usually leads to trading ranges. Okay, so we got our pullback here. Second entry long, higher low setup potentially. But this is a strong bear bar ending near its low. Makes me a little worried. Potential long here. We're still clearly underneath the 20 MA. We have a higher low setup here, and I'm considering taking it. Higher low setup. Second entry long. Bottom of the trading range. Maybe back to the top of the trading range. So this was a signal bar. It looked really good. And now the falling bar looks kind of bad. So now you got to treat this as your signal bar. Still consider this long here. We're beneath the 20 MA, and the 20 MA sloping downwards. This could be a risky trade, though. I mean, all the trades are risky, so do not copy my trades. Trade at your own risk. I'm just thinking trading range here, and so I'm going to treat it like a trading range. Try to take this higher low second entry long. Attach it to the super. There we go. Try to go for 2 points here on the scalp. Run the rest. Actually, let's go ahead and just come out with the entire position, because if it's choppy, typically just try to scalp out, because oftentimes it doesn't really, it'll oscillate too much, so the runners actually get stopped out. Even though like there's maybe a clear target up here, the problem is that because it's choppy, it will most likely take out your runners. So we're still waiting for a 2-point scalp here. This higher low is looking less likely. It's no follow through, so we missed it so far. Another push down. So I was trying to trade the higher low setup, and the higher low setup is not looking favorable for me. It's not looking good. Now it's looking great. I'm going to re-enter this position here if we get another setup here. I'm going to do a double position here. And we're going to scalp out again. That looks even better than the first entry I entered. It's higher, so I'm going to treat it like a separate scalp. Let's go, baby. Got out of that trade. Looking for another scalp here. This entry actually looks better than this first entry, but now it's failing, so I may get burned here. But when the entry looks good, I'm gonna just enter it. I mean, we're gonna hire another higher low setup, bottom of a trading range, right? Another second entry long here. So try to get another scalp. What can I say? One thing is that it's overlapping bars underneath the 20 MA, so this could still be pushing down. Plus, it's a little choppy, so a little hard to tell the direction, but I see the trading range with the trading range indicator, and we're going to try to take advantage of it here. Also knowing that, we've been choppy, but this is not looking good. So, scalped out my first one. I might get burned here in the second one. This is actually a very large signal bar as well, so that could have stopped me from entering this trade. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 point risk here. So I scalped out that first one, try to get in again, kind of not double my position, but I came out with my scalp on that first one, and then second one obviously got me. So it's unfortunate. I think maybe the signal bar was too big, and I should have skipped it just purely based on that fact. But now I'm down. I was up a little bit, came in again, but it's all good. I like the setup still, so even if you lose it, still worth the trade, in my opinion. Getting really choppy now, so it stops you out, comes right back up. Gonna sit on my pause for now. This is getting a little sketchy here, a little too choppy for me. Maybe with another higher low, I might consider it. On the 10K chart, we have a nice two-leggy here, right? 4 pushes down off the 20 MA. Actually, a decent long setup here on the 10K chart. So, maybe with a higher low here, I might enter again to go long. The reason why I want a higher low here is because that will coincide with the 10K second entry long. Let's see if we get it though. I don't think we're gonna get it. I think the market's gonna trigger that second entry long on the 10K chart. Be nice if we can get the setup to have some confidence here. Double bottom maybe enough for me to go long here. I'm gonna go ahead and go long here. I like the setup here. I want to go long. I want to take advantage of that 10K second entry long here, and scalped out. You know what? I'm gonna scalp out this entire position here, just because again, see, that's why runners don't last very long. Runners don't last very long in trading ranges. I should have scalped out. Either scalp out or maybe swing the entire position. But you have a nice 10K second entry long, right? Actually, it's a fourth entry, but you know, every entry that's more than the second entry is a second entry long. Just a chain of second entry. So 1, 2, 3, 4 pushes down. So it's an H4 setup off the 20 MA on the 10K chart. That's why I want to take advantage of. I wish it created the micro double bottom, so that was good enough for me. But if it actually broke below, it would have confluence with like a second entry on the 2K chart and on the 10K chart, which would have been, I would feel even more confident. But so knowing that we're in a trading range, but we're having a tough time getting to the top of it, it makes me feel like we might push down. We might push, like, we might be like in a bearish. It might break to the downside because we have an obvious place where we want to go, but we're having a hard time getting there. So again, this is a higher low setup, another higher low setup, but I'm a little hesitant now because we've many attempts to try to get to the top of this trading range, and we have just got sucked right back down. So not interested in going long right now. Maybe on a trap trade to the long side, but if anything, maybe to go short might be better here at this point. But obviously I'm not going to do it at the bottom of the trading range. Getting another higher low setup here. Boy, oh boy. I mean, I'm not going to take it because I feel like we had enough attempts to try to reach the top here, and too many of them failed. So I'm just sitting on my pause here. I'm not necessarily eager to go long here now. But Diego is correct. This is a mess, right? So much chop here. Just in general, just to stay away from this would be a good idea. Thanks for subscribing. Make sure you scalp that like button. Also, if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe as well. Notice in the higher time frames, we are just above the 20 MA on the higher time frames. The 5-minute below the 20 MA. Confusion. 2000 tick chart, we're going in and out of the 20 MA. So this is confusing. Second entry long here, but not interested because again of the fact that we've failed so many times to push up, and we're so many overlapping bars at this point. It's just very difficult to trade. In this trading range, there's just another trading range, a smaller trading range, which I will draw manually here. Right, in my opinion, there's like another trading range here. This is very, very choppy. And it could be like this for an entire session until Jerome Powell speaks. This trap actually does trigger. Trap to the downside. Big push down. All right, with this magenta 3, very strong setup. I didn't want to take it because, well, being in the bottom of the trading range, even though we had multiple failed breakouts to the upside. And yeah, I guess kind of what we thought was going to happen here. you know, failed to reach the top of the trading range, so we're pushing down now. Jenny Hoyos asks, why don't I make YouTube videos? I did earlier on, but the streaming just takes up most of my time now. If anything, I should just clip my streaming videos and make YouTube videos out of them, make shorts out of them. There's no FO. I don't think there's an FOMC. I think Jerome Powell's just going to speak. Who knows what he can say. I'm just surprised we have not yet filled this gap, and it's here. You know, it's there. It's making its presence known, but we still haven't gotten up to it. It's very choppy right now, very choppy. We have a higher low setup here. I may be interested in taking this higher low setup. The only thing is that it's like floating in the middle of nowhere. Like if it were like close to like maybe yesterday's high, which can act as a support, then I might be interested. Four pushes down, H4 setup here. If we break clearly above the 20 EMA here, maybe look for a long, but other than that, not sure. No setups for me. I would need a higher low setup if I were to re-enter into this trading range. Trading range is still valid here. As you can see, it's still forming. If it breaks too far below, right? If it goes way too far, if it goes too far past the bounds of the range, then the trading range will stop forming, and that's when you know it's broken. Decent strong bull bar here. Yeah, after thinking about this is like a huge risk here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically 6 points of risk on this one candle, and that should have prevented me from entering. Plus it was getting choppy, but I like the higher low. The higher lows in the bottom of the trading range, they get me, and so I thought we had a good chance. It does end up pushing higher after stopping me out. It comes out, stops me out by 2 ticks, and then it goes up, you know, at least a scalp here. So I could almost make a channel now going down. I should be doing that. Here's a channel. We have a channel now working downwards, in my opinion. Makes another new low. getting a strong push down, and yeah, like I mentioned, having a tough time to get back to the top of the trading range with this trap, right? Failed second entry long, reversing here, strong push down, and basically came back to retest this area once again and push down. So now we got 2 pushes down here. Let's see what happens. I'm thinking we're gonna hit yesterday's high and hopefully it can act as a support and we can have some sort of entry, but we shall see. The reason why I say that is because if it does hit this, it starts getting a little confusing for me. Like, I don't want it to be like, okay, do I want another push down after this, or I'd rather have a nice push off of, you know, this high, right? Good support here, and then push higher. What I know is that I don't know anything. That's one thing I do know. Is that a contradictory statement? The only thing I know is I do not know anything. Big push up here. And it's a little weird because you want to now you want to touch this, right? So now you don't want to start pushing above here because we're so close to touching this. You're thinking, it might suck it back up. It's like a strong magnet pulling it in. Big push up. Huh. Pandas. This is moving like molasses right now. No setups for me. I'm not going long here, even though this is a second entry long. So you do have, you know, this 4 pushes down, break a trend to new low. Could be a reversal here. Could be some sort of break of trend to new low here. Higher low setup potentially, but again, we're so close to yesterday's low or high, thinking we want to touch it, test it. Now it's like getting kind of awkward. We're in an awkward spot right between this trading range and see. Notice how the trading range stopped forming here. It's pushed down too far, so kind of lost its pull. Most instances, it wouldn't be better to look for a second two-legged pullback for shorts because EMA is angled down and closer to yesterday's high. It's a fair point. I do just want to be aware of though these reversal patterns though. You know, the reversal patterns, this is like typically an area where you will see a reverse. So if we go above the 20 MA and we have a trap to the long side, it's actually a typical spot, a typical setup for a reversal. But this is why I'm saying it's a little awkward, because we're so close to yesterday's high. I'd rather this had happened, right? I'd rather had this come down and touch the support and then create the reversal pattern, rather than kind of like floating between this range here and the high and then create the reversal pattern in midair. It's kind of, it's just it's difficult for me. So with the higher low setup here, the higher low scalping multiple points. Seems like a lot of you guys have opened your evaluations, and honestly, why wouldn't you? I mean, you have with the 80% off coupon with Apex, it's like doesn't even hurt to try. With little as like what, $20 you can open up an account. And so and that nice thing is, it's like you basically get free like data fees. You get free NinjaTrader license. You can trade basically not free, but like with $25, that's a steal in my opinion. And so you kind of get all those little perks along with the evaluation potential to get funded. So like, this is annoying to me, the fact that we did this actually, because I was expecting us to hit yesterday's low, or sorry, yesterday's high. I keep saying it's low because it's below, but this is yesterday's high. And some of you guys are funded, which is awesome. And some of you guys are wondering what Apex is. Basically, Apex is just a prop firm that we like to promote here because it's risk-free trading and it's a good product. And everyone that I know has an amazing experience. Me personally has amazing experience with Apex. And so if you want to get funded, you have to pass your evaluation. But not only is it risk-free, the best part is, I think, is the fact that you can have multiple accounts, and they have this thing called a trade copier. With the trade copier, you can copy your trades across all your accounts. And so what that means is that, let's say you have 4. I like to use the number 4 because it's an easy number to use. But let's say you have 4 accounts, right? 4 50K accounts, and on each account, you make an average around $200 a day. At the end of the year, what that turns out to be with the trade copier, that ends up becoming basically a $200,000 return on by the end of the year. This is a trap outside bar reversal, and I'm not interested in hitting the top of this channel, plus far away from the 20 MA. Sorry, we had a setup here. If you're aggressive, you'll take this trade, but in my opinion, we're just a little too far from 20 MA, outside bar reversal, hitting the top of this channel here as well. So I'm not super interested in this. But the math works because if you have 250 trading days in a year, you basically multiply that by 4, which is the amount of accounts you have, and so that equals 1,000. And so you multiply that by the average you make per day, and then that gives you your final yearly income. And so that becomes, with just $200 a day, you can make $200,000 a year. And so that's like the power, right? Not only is it risk-free, but you have potential to make actually pretty decent money, in my opinion. That's decent money for me, at least. I don't know for all you guys. Some of you guys are probably much richer than I am. Getting another push up here. This is tricky. I mean, we could have seen this breakout trend to new low and reversal pattern, but outside bar reversal hitting the channel plus far away from 20 MA. So if you went long here, you're sweating right now. You're actually still okay in your trade because your stop loss would be 1 tick under this bar. So you're actually in the trade still because it doesn't actually stop you out yet. So you can actually scalp out here and does another push up, and some prayers were answered right there. And congratulations, you know, for those who entered that trade and were able to get out. But for me, risky trade in my opinion. Sack of Clams asks, how did you know not to take that short off the trend line? Well, most of the time these trend lines do not hold up, and so I didn't want to take the short, especially off the first bounce. You know, if you want to, and also it'd be counter trend, and so if you want to take this reversal, you gotta wait for your reversal setup. You know, if I want to go short here, plus we only really have this right here, this trend line, and so this trend line, that's all we have. And we still need like a break of trend to new high. We have a lot more price action that needs to happen before you want to go short here. So that's why I didn't go short here. I wasn't even thinking about going short. I'm just not thinking of going long, and so I'm not really thinking of going short either. Right, so we got failed breakout of this channel currently. Let's see if this respects this tighter channel here. No setup for me though, regardless. I'm not trying to go long right now. Nick says, aren't they always offering big promos? Well, are they? That's the question. They can stop whenever they want. So now we have a failed breakout of that channel. We're coming back down. So that's why it's a little sketchy for me. Also double top right now. Big push down, big strong bear bar ending near its low. Another trading range has been created here by the trading range indicator. I honestly would, might wait for Powell to speak and then maybe trade, because this is a little tricky, right? In my opinion, this price action is tricky. It's not the clearest price action, let's just say. By the way, if you're just joining, I'm Buy Money, and welcome to my stream. We trade here every single day. The emini, it's the largest, most liquid market in the world, and we trade only one single setup, the two-legged pullback. And we have to find this setup in key areas such as moving averages, trend lines, channels, support resistance levels. And when we have a nice two-legged pullback coming off of these points, we like to take it. If you guys don't know what two-legged pullback is, it's a pattern that looks like this: either two pushes up, two pushes down. And we like to find this, and it's a pullback, so it's exactly what it sounds like. So let's say you have a strong downtrend, two-legged pullback, and you're expecting the original downtrend to continue. And same with this uptrend, two-legged pullback, uptrend to continue. So we like to enter into the second entries. For more information about the setup, you can go to the description below. Their playlist going over the details of the setup, how to count legs, how to identify second entries, how to identify traps. So go ahead and check those videos out if you guys are interested in the setup we're looking for here. And we trade pure price action. And so the only indicators, so we have no indicators other than price action indicators, which is basically the two-legged pullback indicator and also the trading range indicator that marks these trading ranges using price action. And so for more information about either of these indicators, you can go to the official website at www.twoleggedpullback.com. Jaden Saints asks, Panda, do you think trading the two-legged pullback would work with 1K tick chart? It's cutting it close. You know, I always say whatever time frame you use, make sure that every bar on average is big enough to make a scalp. And so the 1,000 tick chart, I'm not sure if it's big enough to make a scalp, but if it is, then in my opinion, then it's okay to use. But for me, the 2,000 is a nice balance between, you know, how large the bars are and plus how quickly they form. You know, I don't want to be sitting here, since, you know, scalping, typically scalpers bring in a certain type of people, personality. You know, people like to be in and out of trades. And so I think it's a good balance between how long the candles take to form plus how large they are. And so coming to the top of the trading range, back to the bottom of the trading range with the trading range indicator. Now when we go back to the top, I feel like now this was the actual pattern here where we had a break of trend to new low, and the new low, hopefully we can touch this support here, and then we'll look for a nice reversal. So we'll see. Make sure you guys scalp that like button if you guys are enjoying the content so far. I'm down $525. That's because I started trading this chop. I came out successful with this one scalp, but I try to enter again with another higher low setup, and stops me out by 2 ticks, and then finally goes along its way. It's just got a little too choppy, and gotta watch out for that, especially on days like today where we know there's an announcement later in the afternoon. Most likely the morning session is going to be choppy. We're not going to go very far, but we shall see. You know, we're going to let the price action tell us more and more. Nick says, looking at the Apex packages, the 50K is a great deal, almost as much trailing threshold as the 100K and only half the profit target. 50K is probably my favorite account in terms of what you get, the best bang for your buck, what you get plus how easy it is to pass. You know, you can pass the 50K evaluation in 1 day, and as in pass, as in you can reach your profit target. You have to trade a minimum of 10 days, but in my opinion, the 50K account is probably best bang for your buck. You know, you can trade up to 10 contracts with the 50K. And so, like, in my opinion, I probably won't really be in a place where I trade more than 10 contracts on any one account. And yes, I have a trade copier. I use a trade copier. You know, if you're interested in how many accounts I have, you can become pandas, and in the pre-market show we go over all my account balances, over all of my off-stream trades, and that happens all in the pre-market show. Plus it's a tighter group, so I'm more available to answer questions. Looking for another push down here, probably gonna touch the 240 SMA and hopefully touch yesterday's high, and I'm thinking it's gonna act as a support here, but who knows. The market's just being very choppy, so for those who want to become members or thinking about it, you know, I always consider it. You know, I'm always appreciative. I really do. You know, I'm indebted to the members. You know, those who support me. It's just amazing. You know, and just to start up any type of channel and having supporters and members is just it's insane to me. But you know, we're grinding every single day here, and this is a lot of work to do, to be honest. And it's like focus work. I'm here 100% undivided attention, and for 2 hours. And not only that, I have a full-time job, and so I'm actually taking a chunk out of my day to do this. And yeah, and sometimes it makes me wake up earlier to start work, or finish my work later. So it does come at a price for me. And so it is amazing to know when people support. And not only that, if you guys do choose to support, I just tell you, all that money, it gets reinvested back into the stream. And also, it's like $4.99 a month. I consider it coffee money. Mrs. Panda and I, we like to, we consider every time we drink coffee, we say this is from the members, from the channel. So do appreciate it. It's like taking your buddy out for coffee, 1 cup of coffee a month. Do appreciate that. Getting a big push up, man. Trading range indicator here from the top to the bottom, back to the top. But with all that being said, like I don't really care about the membership in terms of how many people there are. For me, it's not like it's not like a source of any type of income for me. It's so little money, it's just very trivial amount of money. But it's the fact that you guys supporting me. That's what really gets me. And yeah. George Dixon says, I signed up for the 100K account. Make sure if you guys sign up for the account, use the coupon BBM50. Gives you 80% off, and then 50% off the reoccurring months if you guys can't pass in 1 month. George Dixon, I signed up for a 100K account. What's next? How do I get funded? George Dixon, my friend, not to make fun of you or anything, but or not to call you out, but if you don't know how to get funded, I would say go back and read and go through the website and do your due diligence. Make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. The way you get funded is, you can look all this up, and they have actually very good videos on the Apex website, and I highly recommend to go through them. Especially, you must know how the trailing threshold works. If you don't know how the trailing threshold works, go back and watch those videos until you know how it works. I can explain it briefly here because it affects us all, or it affects me still. And so, if you have a trailing threshold, then what it is that, let's say you have $1,000 trailing threshold. That means that if you make, let's say, $1,000, and so your account is up, $1,000, and let's say you lose $1,000, you're still like positive in your account or break even in your account, but your trailing threshold will move up, right? Every thousand, like it'll move up for whatever the highest point your account balance is, unrealized or realized gains. And so whatever you're at the highest point, so let's just say like you're swing trading and you have like 1,000-point swing going like the opposite direction. You still didn't lose money on your swing trade, right? Like you're still positive, but within that swing trade, you have $1,000 drawdown, then you lose your account. And so just be 100% sure you understand the trailing threshold. And that's what makes passing the evaluation difficult, because of that trailing threshold, in my opinion. That's the hardest part about it. Russell H says, didn't you buy a $2,000 coffee maker? Yes we did. And we like to thank you guys for that. And in the long run, actually, you save money buying up even a $2,000 like espresso machine. You save money. After 1 year, you'll save money. Just simple maths. I mean, ultimately, you save money if you just don't buy anything. But let's say like if you're gonna drink coffee anyways, you'll end up saving money in about a year. And not only that, you'll have probably the best coffee you'll ever have. The coffee that you make, if At least for Mrs. Panda, the coffee she makes, I'm just telling you, there is nothing better in these bamboo forests. You know, from all the stores out there, all the shops, coffee shops. Most of it says, how can I improve market context reading? I will say, look up Al Brooks. There is a link in the description with Al Brooks's course. I mean, it's an affiliate link, so you know it'll help me out if you use it. But basically, Al Brooks' trading course is the best way to understand market context using price action, in my opinion. And look at this, pandas. We come from the bottom of the trading range to the top of the trading range. This trading range indicator is marking the trading range for us very nicely here. Now, it's not, there's no real setups here, in my opinion, but the trading range indicator, I think, is just showing us here very nicely. It's doing its job, basically. Diego asks, hello, is this Luna? Yeah, what coin is this, truly? Aaron Corn says, try Michael Chin. Yeah, Michael Chin was really good at telling you about market context. Gio asks, have you ever drank coffee in Italy? Never. And that's something I'm very excited to do one day. Italy is probably one place, you know, Mrs. Pan and I, we're going to go sooner or later. Of course, he says, stingy market, no second entries. Yep. But now we're at the top of the trading range, so who knows? It can come all the way back to the bottom trading range. The risk is actually not that large, about a 3-point risk. Bottom to the top, back to the bottom. It's just the signal bar is very bad. Bullish. Pandas. Sorry, I have no setups here. I really have no setups here. I mean, I'm not going to take this higher low setup. Sorry. I'm not taking that. Middle of the trading range. Top of the trading range, second entry is short. Right? Just right off the top of the trading range. I mean, typically you want a lower high setup. But now it's going to happen in the middle of the trading range if it does happen. It's just two-legged pullback, top of trading range. Maybe come back to the bottom trading range. It could be one of those days. Let's go from the top to the bottom, back to the top. Regardless, no entry for us. Top of trading range, maybe back to the bottom of the trading range. In choppy days, the trading range indicator is just scary accurate. And Rothable asks, is market slow because Powell speaking? Yes. Should be speaking later, 2 p.m. Just my 2 cents. I do not have a discount code for Albrooks. Sorry, I do not. They do not. I just believe that they have like an ongoing discount. I'm just saying, you know, it is worth its weight in gold. It is worth its weight in gold. But it's honestly, I'll also have a disclaimer. It's only for those who are very serious about learning about price action, because if you ever heard Al Brooks speak, it's like it's the cure for insomnia. Like I personally, I love trading. I love learning about price action. But even listening to Al Brooks, like I start to doze off. Even some topic I'm really interested in, I tend to doze off even watching Al Brooks because of the way he speaks. He has this like really raspy, monotone, just super dry voice, but the content is just, it's unmatched. We have an outside bar reversal here. So for those who went short here, actually, like you got a nice little swing trade here. And the swing trade might not be that bad of an idea. You got small risk, large reward, small probability, right? Low probability trade, but you have a small risk, right? Like 3-point risk, not even 1, 2, little less than 3-point risk. Actually, exactly 3-point risk, and you have a potential, 2 times risk reward at least was matched, was reached. Actually, it hasn't been reached. 2 times risk reward here. Looking for that 2 times risk reward. I want to be careful here because it also looks like we're making some sort of triangle. Triangle just means breakout mode. Outside bar reversal here, outside bar reversal here. Uh-oh. For those who are trying to take that swing trade. It's trapped to the short side, right? Second entry long. Pikachu trade here. It already created an outside bar reversal, so this move might already be done. So I'm sitting on my pause here. I may go short. If we get a failed trap here and to go down. I may go short here because we're at the top of the triangle. They can come back to the bottom of the triangle plus bottom of the trading range. Plus yesterday's high, still like in the vicinity. No setup for me whatsoever. Not right now. Strong bear bar ending near its low, but look to the left of the chart, right? You have a big bull bar, big bear bar, trading range, price action. Outside bar reversals, 2 of them, making it tricky. Big push down. Coming back to the bottom. So no entry for me. I wish it ticked above here and I would have been interested in taking that short. But we didn't get 1 tick above to create that failed trap. Failed trap. Failed trap. Failed second entry short, basically. It's trap. Jonathan G says, "Hey Panda, I'm subscribing right now just to tell everybody that I would rather be in the videos than listen to Al Brooks' videos again." Yeah, man, Al Brooks, and there comes a price. Let's just say, to get that kind of education, comes a price. Wow. All right, so coming back to the bottom of this triangle, maybe bottom of the trading range. So for those who went short here, you had a mini heart attack right here. But even with that mini heart attack, you're all good because you made that 2 times risk reward, and now all you have is a runner. For those who want to swing trade, I mean, you're only talking about 3-point risk here, right? That's a 3-point risk. And you're talking about maybe coming back to the bottom. In my opinion, that's pretty nice. Let's do this as you don't do many scalps, or is it your rules that dictate your entries mostly? I want a good setup. I'll do as many scalps as I get, but I need the setup. I had no setups here. Currently, this triangle is playing out as well. In the trading range, most likely come back to the bottom of the trading range just because we're so close to it. I might take a trap trade if we actually get a trap trade to the short side here. Thinking maybe hit the bottom here, but again, that'd be going short at the bottom of this trading range, and it's typically not a good idea. So this trap could fail, but I like the trap trade here. What can I say? Mac from Price Action Trading System. You have an inside bar, right? OI pattern, breakout mode. Small triangle, right? It's a triangle on a smaller time frame. That's all inside bars are. So got a triangle here. Break below the triangle. Gets to the bottom of the trading range. trading range indicator from the bottom to the top to the bottom to the top to the bottom. Oh my god. Oh my god. Goes from the top to the bottom to the top to the bottom. The trading range indicators just, it's on fire right now. It's just, I had that one setup that I was looking for, but didn't quite get it. Now let's get to yesterday's high, please. Just want to get this over with. Big push down here. Poor Man's Portfolio says, can you make a new video series on counting legs? You know what? Poor Man's Portfolio? I'll do it. I'll do it just for you. I actually have a list of videos I want to make. It's hard to find the time. Might be like a weekend project. Might do for myself. We do got a failed second entry long here, potentially far away from a 20 MA. Strong push down. Oof. Close to the magnet here. I really want to go short here. But I feel like I might get burned. I might get burned here. Oof. Alright, kind of happy that trap disappeared. No more temptation. I mean, typically look for a two-leggy to go short. Maybe I'll take it. Notice on the 2K chart, the trading range indicator is still intact. Strong push up. But my setup, ooh. Two-leggy would be nice here. I don't know if we're gonna get it though. I really don't know if we're gonna get it. Push down, terrible signal bar. Man, that's a trap trade. That's a failed second entry long here. Semi close to the 20 MA. I had my setup. I want to take a second entry short if we can get it, but I don't know if the market's going to give it to us. Seems like it's not. It seems like it doesn't want to give it to us. Yeah, it's not going to give it to us. Breaks below this low, we lose our count. Will we get a second entry short to get into this downtrend, to get to yesterday's high? Is it possible, pandas? Is it possible? Possible. Potential second entry short here. Let's see if we can get it. I would love it. Okay. All right. Is the market just teasing me here? Is the market just going to give me a second entry short, but gonna just reverse on me and rip my face off? All right. Here's a setup. Obvious target, but all right. Let's go for it. I have a feeling this is gonna bite me in the butt. It's looking ugly. It's looking choppy. It's looking like it's getting overlapping, and it's looking just not so pretty anymore. But for the content, let's go, baby. Ooh, I don't. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Creating a doji bar now. doji bar, probably one of the ugliest bars you can have. This will be one of the dumbest second entry shorts I would take if I take this. This is definitely one of the dumbest second entry shorts I'm gonna take. Do not copy my trades. Trade at your own risk. Please do not copy my trades. This is a very dumb second entry short to take. It is a doji bar. It is far away from 20 MA. It's just getting choppy. It is just one of the worst second entry shorts I can think of. We're doing it for the content. One of the dumbest second entry shorts. Nothing is working for you. Nothing is for you here. Doji bar. Overlapping bars. Actually moving. Oh. Actually coming up break even here. And I'm front running my my scalp. My swing trade here, front running it. I might have to hold this. I'm not sure if the market's gonna let me get away with a break-even entry here. Break-even stop loss. Yeah, no break-even stop loss. Let's get to yesterday's high. We're just so close to it. I feel like we gotta get close. We gotta touch it. We're just so close to it. In my opinion, we gotta touch it. High probable chance to touch this, so I'm gonna squeeze out a little bit more here. Coming out with a 2-point scalp on my main portion, because I'm a wussy, and I'm going to try to come up with a runner. I doubt the runner's gonna hit. Those paper paws, those bamboo paws. Ooh, ooh, come on! Do not stop me out. Ooh, you know what? I might as well just see how far I can swing this. Are we in a runner here, pandas? Is it possible? Is it possible, pandas? Do we have ourselves a runner here? Let's go, baby! Hey, we got a runner. I will come out of this at the next reversal. Salvage a point here. Push! Pandas, give me P's in the chat for push. Push! 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 Alright, we're getting ourselves a nice runner here. Let's go, baby. I will come out with a stop loss. I will not come out with a limit order here. I'll come out with a stop loss. I will come out at the next reversal. Don't do that to me. Keep pushing. Come on. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Come on. No. No. Oh my god. Oh my god. What's happening? No. Oh my. We're still in business. We're out. Let's go, baby. Pandas with a whopping 1250 green today. We are killing it. We got our bamboo leaves today. Just our small bamboo leaves. 1250. Hey, green is green. Green is green, pandas. Green is green. What can I say? I made that really tight because it was a L4 setup coming off of a support, and I thought we would have a strong reversal if we did reverse, so I just got out of it. But I could have maybe been a little not as tight on that. You know, I could have just kept it here, my runner, and wait for 2 pushes down, and then just have my stop loss up here. But you know, it's all good. You know, I could use this pivot now as my stop loss, and you know, just look for 2 pushes down, basically, which is what seems like what we're getting here now. So, you know, these are points that I could have gotten and I missed because I was really tight on my stop loss. You know, my stop loss would be up here, so in a sense I kind of wanted to go back up so I don't feel so bad. It's all good, man. Thanks for the peace in the chat. It didn't go very far. It didn't go very far, but we got a couple points from that. Bamboo salad. It's more like a bamboo appetizer. Little bamboo appy. Green is green. Green is green. I'll take it. I'll take it. I was down like $1,000 almost. Now we're up 250. So green is green. Especially on a day like this, very choppy. But man, that this trade was just, I mean, there was nothing really there other than we're beneath the 20 MA. Strong push down, right? This is all bamboo that I missed because I was too tight on my stop loss. Too tight on my stop loss. I could have basically had this as my pivot high. Another push down. Now this would be my new pivot high. So keep on pushing down per every pivot. If you guys don't know what a pivot is, basically, you can learn that if you watch the videos on how to count legs. But basically these are pivots here, right? Whenever, you know, you have to understand the concepts of reversals. And basically whenever a candle breaks a previous candle's extreme, a reversal happens. And so right now we're in a downtrend. And this reversal happens because we have a candle that breaks above the previous candle's high. So, you know, even by one tick. And so reversal happens. And we're considering this an uptrend. And we're still in an uptrend until we get another reversal. And reversal happens when a candle breaks the previous candle's low. And we have a downtrend until candle breaks the previous candle's high. And so basically, the pivot is whenever there is a reversal, that point is a pivot. And so this is a pivot up here, and so we don't break this pivot. So now we have a new pivot here, so the count continues basically. This is all bamboo that I could have gotten. But it's all good, Panis. That swing brought me within 8 points of passing the 550k evals. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about, Cody M. Look at all this mess, man. This was very confusing, and we really thought we were gonna break out here, but man, yesterday's high was just too strong of a magnet. And now we're going really far away from, you know, filling that gap. We're looking to fill probably this gap that was created in the overnight session. So we might fill this gap first. I'm just not sure. Strong push down all the bamboo that I could have gotten. That was too tight. You know, I usually keep my stop loss, you know, on these pivot highs here or 2 points above the 20 MA. If I was still in this runner, I'll probably put it 2 points above the 20 MA in this area. You know, because 2 points above the 20 MA is further than break even, and so that's why I would consider maybe changing it now to just 2 points above the 20 MA at this point. Dylan says, how do you manage full-time job and training hours? So, you know, full-time, when I start to work, I work. But basically when I get off stream, I'm just glancing at the charts at key areas. You know, when we get to certain supports, certain lows. Also, there's alerts. You know, when I get an alert on the 10K chart or the 5-minute chart, I start to pay attention. Basically, there's alerts when there's upcoming traps or second entries. And so I can create alerts for that. And so, you know, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work, but I basically just glance at the charts. I have them up, but I'm not trading obviously as, you know, attentively as I do during stream. Just my two Satoshi says, how do you know there were going to be two more legs down? Because the market loves to move in twos, you know, and that's why we traded two-legged pullback. So we look for two-legged moves, and so the market typically likes to have two legs to complete any movement. And so that's why I assume there's going to be two legs. I don't know if there's going to be two legs, but the probability is high that there's going to be two legs. Yeah, let's just say that. All right, Panis. Thanks for joining the stream, and just remember 2 o'clock Eastern time, there is going to be small news with Fed Powell speaking, and so trade safe around that time. And yeah, hope everyone has an amazing rest of your day. As always, happy trading. God bless. Bye. See you guys tomorrow, 9 o'clock for the pre-market show, 9:15 for the main stream.